The NFL is about to change everything in Los Angeles, and it starts with the Rams. Matthew Stafford is no longer just a veteran quarterback. He's the center of a storm of expectations, pressure, and a roster built to win now. No excuses, no rebuild, no mercy.
You mentioned the whole bleep them picks idea that the Rams had. Obviously, about a month ago, they make that trade. They send Jared Verse to the Cleveland Browns along with a bunch of picks. I mean, I think he's going to have a fine career wherever he ends up, whether it's going to be Cleveland long-term somewhere else. But in the short term, they get Myles Garrett. And they get somebody who's one of the best pass rushers we've seen, any of us, being alive. Then there's the question about Aaron Donald. Yeah. That has been circulating throughout the offseason. So, Bart, what would, if it happens, Aaron Donald coming off the couch out of retirement mean for this defense?
I mean, it's just adding on. I mean, last year, I would have said where we at last year when we needed you. Now you're coming on, now you're just piling on. But, like Aaron Donald, so when you retire, you get to do nothing but lift weights. And we see when he had Jared Verse come over and he walked Jared Verse.
He's about as yoked as you were.
I got to start a kid. But you saw like Jared Verse couldn't work out with him. So what happens is you get to like year 2 or 3 of retired, you get bored. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, man, I feel good. Look at my body. I'm lifting weights because you never get injured. Like when you lifting weights, you feel good, but then when you go play, you get injured and all the hard work you did in the weight room goes away. Aaron Donald, body's feeling good. They're putting the band back together. He's like, man, I can come back and be a hero, get me another championship. My question would be, how much could the Rams afford to pay Aaron Donald and how much does it take for him to be interested enough to get off the couch?
I think there's a nuanced way to approach Aaron Donald. I would ban him from practicing. And I would say in the first 3 months of the year, you're playing 15 snaps a game to close out. Exactly. And by the time we get to January, you'll be rolling, and we're going to play in the Super Bowl in this stadium.
So it's fun to speculate on.
Yeah.
How realistic do you think this is, and when do you think he'd return?
Yeah, it's realistic, and it's possible. I don't know his mind on it, but it sounds like it's something that can happen. Training camp's about a month away. I think that's when we should start looking for it. Well, that's the other thing.
How about Labor Day, baby?
When he was at his peak and he was having contract disputes holding out at training camp, I had Rams people tell me this is better for our offensive line's confidence that he's not here. So maybe that's a good thing too. But we don't know what he's got after 2 years out. We'll see. But it would be a lot of fun.
Oh, it would be a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for all but 31 teams in the NFL.
For our viewers out there that don't remember when Junior Seau would film a TV show and then come and play for the games, I think you give Aaron Donald that same type of contract. Show up when you're ready, and we'll just throw you in there and see how it works.
We are 30 days away, 1 month away from the 49ers and Rams. Full squad reporting date, July 25th.
All right, July 25th. Hold on, I'm going to count the days. Keep going.
We're on 2 days of you not knowing how to do the math between dates.
Still 30.
Google it. I mean, Google it. Just ask any AI.
Oh, yeah, Google and AI have never been wrong.
It's 30 days. 30 days away because they play the overseas Melbourne game. Listen, we've all gotten used to international games across the NFL. I don't think that anyone, including the players, have gotten used to a 16, 17-hour time change to play a game, which is, I can't remember if it's on a Thursday there and a Friday here. I think that's what it is. So the 49ers leaving 9 days in advance. At any rate, that could end up being a highly consequential game in the NFC West race. Yes, the defending champs, the Seahawks, are still there, but imagine if you get to the end of the season and it's like, what was the tiebreaker again? Oh, was that game in Melbourne back in week 1? And then they came back and had to switch and lost the day or jumped the day or they lived the day twice, whatever it is.
It's 30 days.
See, you actually, for them, it might be 31 because of the rollback, because you're jumping around. And then it's negative one day when they come back. You live a day twice. That's where Matthew Stafford also will begin his, I believe, 18th NFL season. One that comes with massive expectations in L.A. Myles Garrett is now there, highly talented Rams team that was right there at the end. Stafford was on the Greenlight podcast with Chris Long and talked about a conversation he had recently with Drew Brees.
I think one of the things that surprised me was I was talking to Drew. This was before last season. And he was like, how old are you again? I was like, I'm 37. He was like, you might have your best 5 years of your career coming up, and I was like, I never really thought about it that way. You're taught as a player in this league, it's a young man's game, and the older you get, you're just kind of doing everything you can to try to stay up to par with everybody else. And Drew saying that kind of lit a fire under me and gives you a little bit of belief that maybe an old guy can still go out there and spin it around a little bit.
We saw that with Stafford last year. Played at a extremely high level, was the NFL MVP for the first time. We also know, based on things that have been revealed since, that shoulder issue he had back in training camp that they downplayed all along as rest could have landed him on injured reserve. Sean McVay was ready just to say, we're stashing you. You're not going to be ready for the start of the season. That's what gets you more than anything is, yes, that it comes down to, can he avoid those hits? Can he avoid the types of just weird soft tissue or, back injuries? I've had back injuries. Like, you don't know when they're coming. I slipped in the shower this morning. I was like, I hope I didn't just hurt my back. Like, those pop up over and over again. And when you're talking about a guy who's had a shoulder, those are the things that you just don't know, or an elbow or any of those types of things to your throwing arm. That can have the trickle-down effect. I know that, a lot was made of the Stafford
30 days. That's all it takes for everything in Los Angeles to ignite. July 25th, the full squad reporting date, and the entire NFL landscape is already shaking before a single snap is taken. Because this isn't just another season for the Los Angeles Rams. This is a controlled explosion waiting to detonate around Matthew Stafford. He is no longer just a veteran quarterback. He is the center of gravity for a franchise that has abandoned patience, abandoned rebuilding, and fully committed to a win now or collapse trying philosophy. No excuses, no safety net, no mercy. And the pressure? It's not building. It's already crushing the structure. But the real chaos didn't start in the locker room. It started with a trade that no one saw coming. The Rams pulled the trigger on the kind of move that splits opinion straight down the middle of the league. They sent Jared Verse along with a bundle of draft picks to the Cleveland Browns, a move critics called reckless, even draft suicide. But the front office didn't hesitate, because in return, they didn't just get talent, they got destruction power. Myles Garrett, one of the most feared pass rushers of this generation, a player capable of collapsing an offensive line in under 3 seconds. Some call it genius, others call it desperation dressed as ambition. Because when you trade your future for dominance now, you are declaring war on time itself. But just when the defense looked terrifying enough, another name began circling the building. And this one changes everything. Aaron Donald. Retired. Officially done. At least on paper. But in NFL circles, silence doesn't mean absence. It means waiting. The speculation is now uncontrollable. Could Donald return? Sources inside the Rams' orbit suggest a scenario so unusual it almost feels fictional. Limited snaps, maybe 10 to 15 per game early in the season. No practice grind, no camp punishment. Just pure, controlled destruction when it matters most. And the logic is terrifying. A fresh, fully rested Donald inserted into a defense already armed with Garrett? One analyst even described it as illegal football. But the risk is just as real. Age, conditioning, timing. One wrong step and the comeback collapses instantly. And while the defense turns into a theoretical nightmare, the schedule itself is preparing a trap the league is not ready for. July 25th doesn't just mark camp, it marks the beginning of a global disruption. The Rams are tied to an international matchup in Melbourne, a game that forces a 16 to 17-hour time shift, players leaving nearly 9 days early, bodies confused, sleep cycles destroyed, recovery distorted. 1 week could decide an entire NFC West race. Imagine it, a playoff tiebreaker determined by a game played halfway across the world where teams aren't even sure what day it is when they wake up. Some call it innovation, others call it a competitive imbalance disguised as entertainment. But all of this chaos still leads back to one man and one question that could define the franchise's entire future. Matthew Stafford enters what may be the most critical stretch of his career. At 37 years old, even legends start hearing the countdown. But Stafford's belief has been reshaped. Even Drew Brees once told him, "You might have your best 5 years still ahead." Last season showed flashes of elite-level quarterback play. But beneath it all, shoulder concerns, back risks, and injuries that don't announce themselves before they strike. And the contract situation only adds fuel to uncertainty. Nothing fully guaranteed beyond the near term. A structure built not on commitment, but on flexibility and control from both sides. This is not stability. This is calculated tension. One injury, one slip, one hit at the wrong moment, and the entire Rams timeline fractures instantly. And so the question isn't whether the Rams are ready. It's whether the NFL is ready for what happens if everything they've built, Garrett, Donald, Stafford, and a global schedule gamble, actually works. Because if it does, Los Angeles won't just compete. It will dominate a league that may never recover from the cost.
Yo, mic check 1 to 2, -1, -2. Game over for this video, folks. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay in the huddle for more. This is NFL Madness, bringing the heat and signing out.